Hey there, New Beginnings. It's me, Pastor Danish House. Today is Monday, March 30th, 2020, and thank you for watching and joining me for this daily update and devotional video. Glad to be with you today. Thanks for welcoming me into your home. I hope this is a blessing to you, and if there's any way that we can bless you more or better, please let us know. Send us an email at the church or let us know in the comments of these videos. We had a great Sunday yesterday, a good service at Germania of Poughkeepsie. Thank you so much to the good folks at Germania of Poughkeepsie for letting us use their space. It was a real blessing to be at Germania and to be able to have our worship team sorted together, separated by social distance, but able to play together and to have I thought a great worship sound. So it was wonderful to be able to worship in that way. And thank you, Germania, for making that possible for us. One of the ways that we'd like to join with Germania in helping them to help our community, they are collecting prepackaged snacks as well as written cards of encouragement, filled out cards of encouragement for our healthcare workers in our healthcare system who are working long hours with very little contact with other people. So they're collecting cards and prepackaged snacks to deliver to healthcare workers and New Beginnings. If there's any way that we can help them with that, that would be great. You can drop donations of snacks or cards of encouragement off at Germania if there's somebody there, and if not, you can drop it by my house and we will collect them and bring them to Germania. Every Saturday, Germania is doing a cooked dinner, which they're offering to let us have member pricing on. They're doing a cooked dinner for the pickup, and it's on those days that I'll be bringing those cards and snacks over there to them so that they can help distribute them to healthcare workers. So let's be part of that, blessing our healthcare workers in that way. Also, yesterday we had a prayer meeting at 9 a.m. Via Zoom. Thanks to Lynn Miller for setting that up. If you would like to be part of the pre-service prayer meeting from 9 to 9:45 on Zoom, just let the church office or Lynn Miller know, and we'll make sure that you get an invitation to that prayer meeting this upcoming Sunday. Update on John McCabe. Many of you know that John McCabe and Janet were in a car accident yesterday after the morning service, but they're both home and they're both well. John McCabe was released from the hospital yesterday. Janet didn't wind up needing to go to the hospital, but John was taken to the hospital. They're not sure. He seems to have maybe blacked out. While he was driving prior to the accident, and they're not sure why he blacked out. But right now, with the health care system the way it is, and struggling to keep up with the coronavirus in our area, that's not a high priority for them to figure out. So they did discharge him. He is home, but please pray for his protection. Janet's very concerned, rightly so, that he is having these episodes, and we don't know why. So please pray for John for his protection, and pray for Janet as well. Donna Engel actually also had a car accident last week. Please keep her in prayer. She's well but shaken up, but their car is totaled. So please pray for them, the Engel family, if you will. I heard back from Kurt Whitson about his wife, Sally. We've been praying for her. She's feeling much better. Thank you so much for praying. Please continue to pray for Sally and that for her recovery from coronavirus-like symptoms. Big thing on the church radar screen today, I think it's at 10 a.m. this morning, is a scope of loss meeting. This is going to be with our insurance adjuster, with the insurance company's insurance adjuster, several of our men from the church, and also with ServPro to discuss the question of what in the church building can be cleaned and what in the church building needs to be replaced or rebuilt. This is a big discussion, and this will be a major step in figuring out how much money we're going to receive from the insurance company to complete repairs. So please be in prayer about that. I'm in prayer about that. It's a very big deal. It's happening very soon. I'm not part of that discussion, but there's many people who are on top of these things. So please pray for this meeting today. I should be giving you an update about it tomorrow. One of the things that'll be a little challenging is that the governor has issued a halt to all non-essential construction work. And while construction on our building is very essential to us, uh, I don't know that it's deemed essential as far as the state is concerned. So I don't know how that's going to affect our construction timeline, but I'm pretty sure it's going to make it longer. The other thing that I'm concerned about, and I just off the top of my head, I haven't thought this through very much, is that when we do move into a temporary worship space, we're going to need to do some construction there as well. And we've been hoping to get into that before the coronavirus restrictions were lifted. But now these restrictions on construction will be a little challenging there as well. So please pray in this regard. We would love to be able to meet together and worship together as soon as possible after the restrictions are lifted. There will be an elder board meeting tonight. Please pray for your elders. It's at 7 o'clock by Zoom. Please pray for your elders as we think through everything going on in the church and pray through things and make plans for the future. Also, very concerned this morning about riots that took place over the weekend in the city of Newburgh over an officer-involved shooting there. Please be in prayer for the city of Newburgh and for tensions there to calm down. Right now, it's anxious for everybody in every part of New York State. So when there's something as difficult as an officer-involved shooting, it's not a surprise that those tensions result in a lot of public anxiety. But let's pray for the officers who are there, for safety in the city, and for the people of Newburgh at this challenging time. I've been doing a bunch of daily devotionals. Our daily devotionals recently have been focused on coronavirus related things. I talked on Friday about how I want to really help to lead us into a direction which is more dependence on Jesus and focus on Jesus at this time. And so I want to today touch base with one of the things I talked about in my sermon on Sunday, but I want to take some time to do what we call, through the Emotionally Healthy Spirituality course, we call the daily office. The idea here is that we spend some time just in quiet and solitude before the Lord. And I want to help lead that for you. So many of you have taken the Emotionally Healthy Spirituality class, so you know what I'm talking about. Some of you have not. The idea here is just in the scriptures, God talks a lot about being still and quiet before Him. And I want to lead us in that because being quiet before the Lord and listening to Him, spending time with Him, not time doing stuff, but just time being in His presence and time receiving from Him, maybe even not receiving anything specific, but just receiving His presence, is key to building a deeper relationship with Jesus. So here's what we're going to do. All this week, I'm going to try and lead this out. It'll involve a minute's worth of silence, and then a short devotional, and then another minute of silence. Okay? And then we'll close with prayer for the needs of the church. Now, I am in a working house here, and there was very recently water running upstairs, and there's people walking around. I don't know how silent it's going to be, but the trick is not to get perfect silence, but the trick is to listen to God even amidst the distractions of life. Okay, so let's try this. What I'd like you to do is just sit straight wherever you are. Put your feet on the floor. I hope that you're not driving right now. If you're driving, be at peace. Uh, if you're at home, sit. Put your feet on the floor. Get in a comfortable position. And while we have this minute of silence, I just want you to breathe in and breathe out slowly. Just focus on your breathing out and try to let that breath out be slow. And listen in your heart and in your mind to the Lord. Let's take 1 minute of silence. Try and keep that feeling of silence, that attitude of silence as I read from the Word and talk just a little bit about it. This is from Matthew chapter 16, verse 15. Jesus said to them, to his disciples, "Who do you say that I am?" This morning, I just want you to think through in your mind, who do you say that Jesus is? Not just theologically, although the theological part is important, but theologically, who is Jesus? What do you believe about Jesus in your mind and in your heart? But now I want you to think about this calamity that's come upon us. And how do you believe, who do you believe that Jesus is in the middle of this calamity? In the middle of this turmoil? Who is Jesus? Does Jesus love you? Does Jesus care for you? Is Jesus' hand on you? Has he turned his back on you in this time? Or is his face towards you? Who do you say that he is? Is he a hard taskmaster? Is he a forgiving Lord? Is he your elder brother? Is he your king? Does Jesus have his hand on you throughout all of this? I want you to remember the love of Jesus at this time, his care, his compassion for you, his desire for you to grow, his willingness to walk with you through your sufferings. Who do you say that he is? Just want to close this devotional time with one more minute of silence. One of the challenges with times of silence is that we use our words and our busyness in order to keep some of our emotions at bay. Some of the feelings that we have, we don't want to feel, whether it be sadness or fear or anger, things that we don't want to feel, and so we use our busyness to try to push that away. And in a time of silence, it can be very easy for those feelings to come to the surface. I just want you to know that's okay. You're allowed to feel those feelings. Um, but as you feel those things in the silence, I want to encourage you to hold them up to Jesus. As you're thinking about who Jesus is, recognize that he can hold those feelings for you and with you. Let's pray for the needs of the church. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for New Beginnings Church. Thank you for the fact that you have called us to be people who look to you for rest, even in the midst of such turmoil as our society is in right now. Lord, I pray for the city of Newburgh. I pray for the riots that took place this weekend, and I pray that you would bring peace to that divided city. Or that you would protect the police officers, Lord, who are in many ways bearing the brunt of the rioting. I pray that you'd be with the people who are filled with anger and anxiety, and that you would help them to know that you're with them as well, that you care for them, and that their needs are not forgotten by you. But Lord, I pray that you'd help them to look for constructive ways, Lord, to deal with their anger and to work through the problems that they see in the society around them. Lord, I lift up to you Carter and Nora Sloss and their mom Allison. Lord, I thank you that they're home from the hospital. Lord, I thank you that Nora's fever has broken. Lord, I pray for their continued healing from this pneumonia that has been so hard for them over the last week. I lift up John McCabe to you as he recovers from his blackout and car accident. I pray that you'd be with him. Pray that you would make space, Lord, so that the doctors can determine what is wrong, why he's having these blackout events. Please be with Janet, comfort her, take care of her. I pray for Donna Engel, Lord, that you would be with her, shield her, and protect her. Comfort her, Lord, I pray, as car accidents are very disrupting. Please be with her, give her peace. I pray for our brother Curtis Whitted, Lord, the son of Curtis Whitted, who is the pastor of the Potter's House. He is in the hospital on a ventilator, as far as I know, still there with coronavirus. Lord, I pray for his healing. I pray for that you would pour out your grace on him to restore him and heal him and bring him out safe. Pray for Sally Whitson. Lord, I thank you that even with her coronavirus symptoms, coronavirus-like symptoms, we don't know if that was what it was, that you've brought her through and that you have healed her. Lord, I pray for her continued recovery, and I pray that you would lead her out, Lord, to a place of health and wholeness. Pray for today's Scope of Loss meeting at the church, that you would bless all those involved and you bring wisdom, Lord, and clarity so that we can know how much money we're going to have available to us for reconstruction, and we can know what direction we need to take in order to bring our building back into usable condition. Lord, I pray for all in our area who are sick. As the number of coronavirus cases increases, in New York State, the number of cases was up, I think it was 65% over the weekend, and the number of deaths over 90% increase over the weekend. Lord, in some ways, this is what we expect based on the data modeling, but Lord, it is difficult to see. And we pray for those who are sick and in the hospital right now, those who are sick and at home being cared for. Pray for their healing. Lord, I pray that you would extend your hand of care for everybody who is in turmoil right now. You are the God who heals us, and we trust in you. Thank you for your work in our lives. Thank you for your work in our church. Thank you for each person who's watching this video right now. Please bless them, encourage them, and strengthen them today. In Jesus' name, amen. Thanks, New Beginnings. Thanks for joining me for this update and devotional video. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.